Brett Brock's auction last night, wasn't it? It's good. I managed about 7 hours and then had to sleep. Woke up 2 hours late. Just in time for the raid on Amouranth. Just laying around farting, whatever she was doing for an hour. Then I went back to sleep. This clearly isn't about the Queen. It was gonna be, but you know what? I thought I'd lie. No, it is. Obviously, split opinion. There's deference. There's great memes. Twitter's been an absolute godsend. Today was Ascension of Charles as King, and I haven't been anywhere near it. I'm not too far from like Buckingham Palace and all that. I'm about an hour away. But no, I suspect some of my family will be there tomorrow, I would think. But it's very confusing having two round things on there. A little camera and a mic, and the mic's round. I keep looking at the mic. You look rough, you might say. And I agree. I do. Because I'm in yesterday's clothes. I didn't sleep in them. I just put them back on. I haven't showered. I'm feeling some clouds rising, and but I'll feel better when I get out for some fresh air, which will be directly after this. I think I might go out for a run, the second one in 4 months, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Brock's auction was great. Obviously, I missed the second half. Don't know what happened. Tuned back in at 7 a.m. my time, and he was hammered. And we got raided into Amouranth, who, if you don't know, Amouranth has 6 million followers and she just lays around with her tits out in a ball pool, but she makes 100k a month. So if Brock looked like that, for instance, he wouldn't be able to hide his money. It wouldn't just be can't hide it. He wouldn't be able to hide it. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't think there's an everyone, Dean. I think it might just be you. How you doing, sir? Yeah, completely unprepared. I even put this back half an hour because I haven't showered, I haven't changed since yesterday. It is what it is. This will be a short one. Let me know if the music's too loud. We just fuck around a little bit today. Yeah, so the Queen's dead body is currently in Scotland, where she'll remain for a few days. It will come down on the train on Wednesday into King's Cross in London, and then there'll be a bunch of stuff. The accession to Charles as King today, and then the funeral will be next Monday, a week Monday. Everyone gets a day off work. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people. And there'll be a coronation and all that shit. So this will go on for weeks, and the impact will be things like changing the money, changing the post boxes, changing the passports, new ones. Obviously, I won't need a new one until January, I think. But, all this bullshit will have to change. So that'll be sort of day-to-day impacts, which actually will be weird because we've had the visual indoctrination for 71 years, or whatever it is. But there we go. All change. People must die. People must die. And, on a human level, an old lady died. It's sad. Family probably sad, It's just the establishment thing I'm not really into. And the bootlicking, and all that stuff. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't think, definitely, when there's a new government, it doesn't affect my life. So, when there's a new monarch, I just see different things on the TV. And around, cheers, got a pint of agua. But yeah, this is a completely pointless thing. I'm just going to come and do something every day for the 10 days of official mourning. Yesterday was day 1. This is day 2. But I'm calling it day 1 because it's the first time I've done something. I'll pop in for between 5 minutes and an hour each day. But that's, but some days I will talk about, the crown jewels and where they were stolen from and should be given back and all that stuff. All this stolen stuff and money, it kind of made the nation secure. So I'm glad we've got nice roads and security and, all that. So in some ways it's good for me, but it's also bloody awful for the people it happened to. So I think we should give some of the shit back. I don't think we will. Maybe in 100 years when all this stuff is over, we'll see. We will see. But how is everyone out there? I'm just doing a lot of planning right now, a lot of various free synth music coming in now for my trips. I need to figure. Yeah, there's going to be a bit of a change. I'm going to be reaching out to someone to help me out with this podcast to co-host it a lot of the time. I think I don't know if they'll say yes or no. I'm hoping they'll say yes, and then it'll double our small sphere in terms of guests and people wanting to watch it and stuff. So yeah, this is going to be like a little mini 10-day solo thing. I'll see if I can be fucked to do it every day. I might not. We'll see. It might just be a nice little thing to do. A little bit of boredom killer for between 5 minutes and an hour each day. I'm not going to go longer than an hour because it's a little bit much, isn't it? Unless I get a guest on. But I can't even bother to try. So I'm probably just going to talk absolute shit. And yeah, I need a shower. I need to shave. The balls are sweaty. The pits are sweaty. You know, it's not good. I should have showered before this. There was no reason not to. And haven't eaten. Tried to eat some focaccia, and it's just not good. So I've binned it. It's sat on the floor right now. Yeah. So this is a very lazy attempt at a first thing. Yeah, the rest of these days I'll probably do a few minutes about the royal thing. We'll go and look at some heinous activity, whether it's about the sweaty nonce, Andrew. Hack Oddity reminded me about never really read too much about it, but the new Prince of Wales, William, is the Prince of Pegging. He was paying someone to shove things up his arse, which, you know, you're into what you're into. I'm not going to kink shame, but it's just, Prince of Pegging should stick, and there should be a separate flag for it. It should just be like a big, it should be a crying man, just a big tear, a red anal tear, if anything, and some hair where it hasn't been properly looked after. You know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I'm never standing over a mirror on the floor, but in that way, I don't want to know. It's probably almost prolapsed at this point as well, with the amount of shitting I do. It's gross. It's not good. It's like a chalk dip. Bring a breadstick, put it in there, dig around. Oh, that was shit. It was shit. So there we go. Dean co-host for one. Yeah, well, we might get you on one day then. One of these in these 10 days. Let's have a think about it. What day will be good and how long for. I don't know if Doggy's bringing his coffee show back next week. I've set the rest of them for like Monday to Friday to be about 11:30 a.m. Eastern. So it'll avoid that anyway. And yeah, today's just a little bit earlier. Just thought I'd get it out of the way today. I want to go out while there's still some light. And there is light. Hopefully the rain will stave off so I can get out for a run. Try and get rid of this gut. That's got to be done. I haven't really planned anything for this day. I mean, the real plans will happen in about 2 weeks. Or I can sort out some accommodation and all that kind of stuff. I've got to find out if one of my friends is going to be with me for some of the time. She's another comic. Or just in Austin or just a bit here. I don't know. And then I want to plan the third portion, which, you know, may or may not be Nashville, may or may not be LA, may or may not be somewhere else. So yeah, that part will probably be fairly last minute, to be honest. But I am looking forward to getting out. Like I said, a friend New York right now, or has been, and yeah, getting some good info. I've already got tips on food, but I'm going to be moving. I'm going to be moving fast, and it'll be all last minute. So it might be like, I can go and do a spot tonight in wherever this is, wherever that is. Just be running around like a bit of a madman, going to watch shows. So nothing will be really planned, but things might be. Yeah, we'll look into that. See how it goes. But I'm looking forward to coming back. Looking forward to the food. Looking forward to paying too much money for drinks and having to tip everyone. Or it's, you know, here it's optional. Most actually, you know, it's creeping in. It's creeping in the mandatory. But yeah, we'll have to see. I need a SIM card. I need to sort all that shit out. So, any good US mobile networks, particularly that will be good around New York and Austin, let me know so I can bag a SIM card. I assume I can get one at an airport or a street vendor little store or something to chuck in there. At least it won't be in Portuguese, so I won't have to get someone else to register it. But yeah, the last time I was in New York was about 11 years ago, and I found this nice bar. Can't for the life of me remember what it was called. It was in a basement. It was like there's something in Pot or Kettle, I don't fucking know. And an Italian restaurant around the corner, because I didn't even have a smartphone then. What I thought was north was south. I think it was off of 6th Avenue maybe, but what I thought was north was south, and what I thought was south was north. So when I came to try and find stuff on a map, I was like, I was walking, I had no idea. So having maps and access to internet will be a good thing while knocking around. So if anyone's got any, it's possibly nothing's confirmed. I might try and confirm some before I go as well, but there'll be a lot of walk-ups, a lot of I'll more or less have to. There'll be some I know about and some I don't, so I'll have to start on that admin soon, I think, to see if I can get into something. I'm also doing a show on the 27th where I should get that filmed, small show, and I'm hoping to take quite a bit of new stuff there. So if I can get that video out to people, not publicly, but just might help with some booking, and then the rest will be what I can get and when I want to, because other nights I'm going to watch comedy. I'm going to, who knows, but I'm going to have 2 stints in New York. I'll have a few days and then I'll be back towards the end of the trip. It should be the end of October. That might just be a little bit later. That'll be up in the air too. So in total, I should have about a week in New York. Just probably a lot of walking and a lot of whizzing around, trying not to get stabbed, that kind of stuff, but or shot. So it will be, if it is what it is, isn't it? We won't worry about that shit too much. Just get in, get down, get a beer, and see what food I can find that will make my asshole bleed, because that's the best food. The food that makes me bleed is the food that's good for my soul, not asshole. So very much looking for that. But of course, Dean, I'll let you know. We should be able to meet up at some point for whatever, coffee spot or watch a show or something. There should be a few hours where I can go, I know where I'm going to be. But there will be a lot of that time. It'll all change. I might have a late night. I might want to sleep. I might need to get out and have a hangover in a park. Go and sit by the water. It depends what the weather's like. There'll be a lot of stuff that I don't know what's gonna go on. Not going to be the richest person in the world, so I'll be kind of budgeting, but then kind of not. There'll be some days where I'm just going to eat this massive pizza today, treat myself, or a few drinks and all that. So it'll all be by ear. I'm a bit chaotic when I'm traveling in some ways in terms of what I'm going to do, but this has also got a bit of a purpose. It's more of a reconnaissance trip more than anything else, right? And if I come back to New York towards the end of it, I'll know the city a bit better again, and then when I come back, hopefully sometime early next year, I'll have a much better idea, and hopefully you've met some people as well. So it's important. Unfortunately, meeting people around comedy and stuff is important, so that will be helpful. And Austin, it's got this festival on, but I'm hoping a lot of the scene still stays, because from what I can see from Austin, it's a small city anyway, and there's a hell of a lot of walk-up spots as well. So I'm wanting to be doing that, have a little bit of barbecue, have a couple of, I've already found a donut place I want to go to. Little silly things, sit in a coffee shop, right? That kind of shit. But just, I'll have to check out the weather in both places, but just get into the vibe of each. I did say the word vibe. Fuck me, I should kill myself. The sort of atmosphere of each city. I almost said energy as well. Jesus, I mean it, but I can't saying it's weird. I don't remember much about little bits come back to me, but it wasn't there long. I was there 2 or 3 days. Then I flew to Miami. Then during hurricane season. Then I came back for like 2 days. So I don't remember too much. I remember a couple of the restaurants, remember a couple of the bars. I remember walking for fucking miles around like Ghostbusters filming locations up near Dakota Building. One of those buildings next door, or almost next door, is the apartment building. Down the firehouse, Ground Zero. Then they'd had the foundations there, and the pools weren't there. There wasn't the garden. I don't even think there was a museum. Maybe there was. I think maybe there was. And the Peace Tower, which is now One World Trade or whatever, was having its foundations built. So it wasn't even off the ground. It was like 2010 when I was there. So, yeah, it look a bit different. I hope I see another cliched cop. I did see a cliched cop in a car, fat, drinking coffee and eating donuts, and that I'll try and find the photo. It was glorious. Of course, I had to take a picture. This fuck. It was such a cliche. I was like, "What? This is out of a movie. It's wild." But yeah, so looking forward to getting into it again. Hey Kelly, welcome to the Mourning show. Except it's not really, barely. It's not morning here, and it's not. I'm not really mourning. I spent 30 seconds on the Queen. I just thought it'd be a funny thing to do. But yeah, I will talk about the royal family, both maybe some good points, but a lot of bad points and a lot of terrible history and present stuff throughout the 10 days. But I'm going to try and make it every day. There might be some days where I can't. It might be a bit of an exercise as well. Most of it will be about 11:30 Eastern, just to avoid coffee with the dog if he's doing it. I don't know if he is. And it's not a bad time for me. It's like 4 p.m. to me. Today's 2. I changed it to 2:30 because I wasn't prepared. Yesterday's clothes. Haven't showered. Didn't sleep in them, so it's not as bad as you think. But, you know. My plan after this is to shower. I'd say go out for a run, but I've barely eaten anything, so I don't know. I feel I'll probably pass out. Maybe I'll just go and see the sister for a couple of hours, although she might be in London doing the whole Queen shit, King shit. I don't know. They might be. It wouldn't surprise me. Did everyone catch some of the Brock stuff last night? I'm thinking I saw like 6.5 hours. And I bailed, watched some stuff for an hour, and then passed out. And I woke up at 7. He was supposed to finish at like 5 my time or 6 my time. Got back on, drunk as anything, and then he raided Amouranth. And if you don't know Amouranth on Twitch, she's basically a lady who stands around with her tits out, and she's got 5.8 million followers. And I think she makes tens, if not about 100k a month. And Brett raided her. Completely insignificant. They don't even notice like 20 people coming because there's already 8,000 watching. So that was odd to wake up to this morning. And then I went back to sleep for a few hours. So I'm still a bit scraggly, still a bit, my voice isn't even working today. But it was great. It was good stuff. I'm going to get through some it's really going. It's really going. I'm going to try and get through some admin today. Book a couple of people to come on here. You'll be very pleased about one of them at least. And then next weekend I've got quite a bit of free time as well. I'm coming into the week after, so I'll try and maybe get some pre-records as well, especially for when I'm traveling. I'll speak to Jamie. We'll try and do some of Dykes and Mann before I go. But I've still got I've got like 5 weeks. I think it's 5 weeks today. And I'll be landing. I'll be getting whatever hour, 90 minutes to spend to get to whatever shithole I'm going to stay in. And then I'll be out the door. Once things are charged, get out the door and into it. So, I've talked about that. But yeah, looking forward to US. It's a bit of a stupid trip for me to take in terms of I should be organising my life. But, I think I've been saying October all year. It feels right for me to go. Hopefully we'll see some cool stuff and eat some good food, meet some cool people. And that's it. That's the plan for that. But I do remember about the public bathroom issue in New York. And even in bars and stuff, because the real estate, it might have changed a little bit, but the real estate is so small everywhere you go that there was like one bathroom and it's always downstairs and there's queues of people up there. So I don't know. I am a man that has to rely on this ability to shit at any time, although I will be taking plenty of medication. So I'm going to be taking some Imodium, which is anti-diarrhea, and I might preemptively strike some of that, especially when I'm going out for food. Especially if I'm eating things like Cuban sandwiches and Italian bread, or it's going to fuck me up. But nothing better. So I've got to move around because I've got like a microphone in front of everything today. Yeah, I missed the whole second half. I just came back in when he was going, let's go check out some goddamn bullshit. He turned into a mean drunk Brett by the time I found him again. So that's always good. Yeah, he was yelling. Mean drunk Brett by the time I got back in, but he was just fading as well. I don't know how long he stayed awake for. I kept his raid thing open for a while just because I think it helps him get points and stuff if the raiders stay in there. But I went back to sleep. It was 7 a.m. I went to sleep at like 2. I just wanted a couple of hours more, so I did that a couple of times. I haven't really got going today. It's 2 p.m., but I've not really. It's nearly 3. I've had 2 coffees, but I've barely eaten. I haven't showered. I am not awake at all. I got to go through WhiteBatAudio that I use here. It's got so much stuff. Got some thrash metal and some synth, but I need to find some better stuff on here. But yeah, I don't know. I thought I'll play something in the background today, given I've got not a lot of cognitive function and not a lot of energy today. So this is a complete bullshit. Oh yeah, I've still got Brock stuff up here. Kind of fits with Blade Runner, right? Do we have any idea how much money came in? Because it was over a grand quite early on, right? Within a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours, it was like 1,069. I know the 2 people who have been in on this, so that will go quite well. The Terminator one. Yeah, they're awesome, dude. I like everything. I like everyone. And there's Marilyn Monroe before she had her tits done. Before the Kennedys had a way with her. I know it's not Monroe, but I thought I'd say that. Sometimes it's okay to say. Flirty, is that what? Into a camera? Yeah, that's what I thought would happen. So there's a big lull in the middle, but yeah, the drunk people come in, the people wanting to come to make it at the end to get those bids in, of course. That's pretty cool. So we've no idea how much. I said I think it was just over at 1K when I when he last got his calculator out. But yeah. So these 10 episodes are basically just going to be like they're not even really episodes, just like a hang. Me talking shit probably, and I'll prepare better for tomorrow. But today it's a nice Saturday. I've wasted most of it doing nothing. I had some family visit actually. It was nice to see my niece, fully grown, and yeah, doing well. Apart from us got debilitating fucking diet issues, so we've definitely got all this in our family. My other niece, they're being sensible about it. I'm being half sensible in that I'm not getting medical assistance. I'm just doing it myself. But my parents, my sister, they just shit. Well, my sister shits in the woods. My sister shits in the woods still, and she's 50. Good. It's nice to see that it went well. I'll just keep myself small, moist. I'll just keep myself small, and we'll go for Brock's paintings as well, because I look like shit today. Oh, there's Mac. Poncho and Hawkins and the Predator himself. And no, I don't mean Bill Clinton. I mean the alien sent to hunt humans for sport. It's a Blade Runner ship. Oh, the Elvis was cool. He said he'd never drawn him. I thought that was quite a cool one. I think I saw the first part of this, but missed it. It's quite often happens because I normally have to go to sleep or go and do something. These are cool. Oh my god. He's in the house. Moist. I'm just hanging out with that shit music because it's all I've got right now. Obviously, it's not really about the royal family. There's 30 seconds on it. Brock, how much did you raise, or do you not want to say yet? I remember you getting to like 1K in the first part, and I'm sure there was a blitz at the end. But I woke up 7 a.m. I meant to get up earlier, and you were at the end of the tether before we raided Amouranth. Is that how you pronounce it? Doesn't really matter how you pronounce it. It's just you got to be careful of not to get your eyes poked out when you go over to that stream. Literally nothing. The 10 days of mourning for my queen. We're in this day 2 officially. So yeah, it's a national thing of mourning. So I thought every day I'll do something. I'm gonna get into the crown jewels and where we stole them from and all the pedo stuff throughout the week. We'll get into all that. We might get people on. But today it's just Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. I'm just hanging. There's no beer around me. I had 3 beers last night. After 2, I was spinning, and after 3, I was fucked up. So something's gone wrong. I can't right now. Had a nice time. Perfect, man. Perfect. Yeah, I could tell you at the end. I literally woke up, turned my phone on, and you're like, let's do some bullshit. Yeah, undoubtedly. And you can see it. I mean, I think there were nearly 9,000 in there this morning. And she had a sub goal of 635 during that stream. And she went for like 14 hours or something. And she got 636, 637 by the time in one stream. By the time I mean, that's what 1,200 or something, isn't it? Just from those subs. But then obviously there's all the extra money and the gifts and the bits and wild times. She was doing this fucking ASMR shit this morning, but you know, fair play. Oh, even if we were 6 out of 10 women, I would be making 10k a month, and that'll do for some internet stuff, right? Easily. If I tried it could be 20, 30. Wild times. Scott, Dean, I don't think there's any convincing. He hasn't asked my opinion. I haven't really given it. But I think, yeah, he hasn't mentioned it at all. Well, I said to him, if he's feeling that it's not doing what he wanted it to do and he can't get the guests he can get, cut it down to 3 days a week because he gigs late and stuff. Maybe after those days, and maybe 3 days a week, and then go 2 where he can bring back his later afternoon show where he could get some West Coast people on. But you know, maybe he just needs to change. He needs to do what he needs to do, though. I know it's good for a lot of people to have that in the morning. For me, it's 2 p.m, so it's just kind of I can get on it if I can. But you gotta accept change in life, I think, as well. And if he doesn't want to do it, he'll do something else. Support that. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do a daily thing forever. It would no. It's just not. I'll do this for if I do this for 10 days plus a couple of normal things. That'll be like a little dip my toe in the water, but I couldn't do a daily show like at every day 9 a.m. Unless there was some serious cash involved, and there's not, so you can fuck off. But like I said, when I'm going to reach out for someone to right, so you will see me in this comic together quite a lot. over the next year. I hope we're working on a couple of things, and might maybe joining me in the States for some of it, and maybe coming onto this podcast a bit more as well. So I'll try and do all the admin this week and do my asking. I'd rather do it in person though, to be honest, but I had to pull out of a trip to that city the other day. The transport wasn't great, and I just bailed on the gig on Wednesday. Instead, just walked around London and then came right back home. But yeah, I'll try and. There's a lot I need to organise with this person. There's a lot of different projects and things, including the trip, including other shit that we can talk about in the next couple of months, which is a lot of bullshit in itself. So I don't want to overwork, because when I write, I think of everything. I get a bit ADHD, and I'm asking someone, I'll send an Instagram DM that's this long with 100 different things in it, and I prefer just to be having that conversation over a beer. So yeah, I'll try and make some progress on that, on a couple of things this week, but I need to separate it because I get a bit Asperger's-y when I'm trying to organize stuff. So that's not good. Yeah, but we'll see what happens with Doggy Dog. I'm sure he'll do what he needs to do, and I think he'll either keep doing it or come back to it after a while. Maybe it'll be reduced, because it's a lot doing those 5 mornings, and then he does 5 nights podcasting as well, and gigs 2 or 3 nights a week. It's a lot. It's a lot to prepare for. It's a lot to do. I mean, has he got a marriage? I don't know. But it's a lot. It's a lot of time to commit to, and it's a tough thing. Maybe I could do it one day, but it'd have to be when I've got something that's worthwhile doing it for. I mean, like some reward for me, because other than dealing with my mental health and having an outlet, but some of that might come off the back of what happens in the next couple of months. And next year, I think this will be quite different. But we'll always do drink-a-thons. We'll always have comics on. We'll have degenerates on. I'm always going to get fucking weird. So I don't really like talking about stuff weeks or months before it happens, because unless it's something that I need to sell something for, because I don't like putting it out there. It's not really jinxing. It's kind of like, because you could fall into the trap of being a sayer rather than a doer, right? I'm gonna, and I know people like this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. They don't fucking do it. And sometimes there's a reason why you can't, but I'd rather just get it to a point where you can at least say, this is fucking happening, or this is what we're doing now. So yeah, I'm pretty busy in the background. Believe I didn't just lay on in bed depressed all day, although I do that for a couple of hours a day. And today, like I said, I feel a bit cloudy in here, so I'm going to get out. It's a beautiful day. It's not raining, but it's been on and off. I'm going to try and get up in the fields, walk down my sister's, get some air, get some exercise, all that kind of shit, and I'll feel like a different human. No, exactly, Husky. There's no way. It's a lot. I mean, a minimum. I mean, it does that show for 2 hours. That's 10 hours. And then the night show's 1 hour normally. 15 hours a week. And some of those fucking weird guests he gets on, he has to read it. He doesn't read their books, but he at least has to read the blurb and get in the mindset of wanting to talk to a psychic or whatever. And then I think he's busy anyway, and then the gigs, there's no way. But yeah, I mean, I'm busier than I let on, but it's I do what I can, and I should probably do a little bit more. But I do. Jamie just turns up. He just sits in his chair. I'm ready, and that's it. No, I'm fucking around. He does do a little bit more these days, but he's also got a family and all that stuff. So I'm glad I have no one and nothing, and that I can devote a bit more time. I'm really looking forward to when I can get a permanent good space for me and for this. But, it's going to get pushed back because of the US thing. It just is. Because money that would go this way is going to go on fucking Cuban sandwiches and tampons to mop up the blood out of my ass in New York, in Austin, and where else I might go. So, yeah. And I might end up, if I put that return flight back, I could potentially go somewhere else as well. And yeah, there'll be three destinations. It could be 4. But who knows? I'm looking at this as more of a reconnaissance trip, though. As I said earlier, March, April next year, I'll come back. I don't want to come out of winter, and then maybe stay a bit longer. So I do want to be in the States once or twice a year for a while. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if it's practical. We'll see if I can get good spots and stuff out there, and then start to meet people out there. That'll be good. That'll be good for me to have that as well, because I like doing different shit. But I also want to go to Japan. I want to go to Japan next year. I almost did something really racist. Well, not, but just do it, No. But I want to go to Japan. I want to have sake. I want to eat Wagyu and drink Japanese whiskey and go and see the blossom trees. Go and see Hiroshima, where people's backs were melted off for nothing. This is where my back got melted off. Now it's a tourist spot. I think that trip, I'd probably sign off the internet. Not really. I'd be online for like maps and searching for shit that I need out there. But I think I'd be off. I want to do some trips where I disconnect from social media and even phone numbers and messaging people if I can get away with it. So I'll trial it over a weekend, and then one time just go for 2 or 3 weeks somewhere and just fucking have nothing. Like I said, use the internet for safety stuff like maps and finding out where I need to be, travel, but just have no apps on there for communicating with anyone, and just go and just live, just experience what's happening. I think that's important to do. And might come back with a Japanese boyfriend or girlfriend. I mean girlfriend, not gay. God. Hey. And I want to go and see for myself if the subway's out there. They're all like lining up, like all polite, diddle-lit, instead of everywhere else just trying to ram. There's a great video of Tokyo subway and then Mexico City subway and the difference of behavior. But it's just different cultures, So I want to get into there. This music is fucking wank. He's definitely got some thrash, but it's all awful. It's quite a good shot. I mean, he gives all his stuff for free as long as you tag him. It's thousands of videos, but a lot of it's just synth stuff, which doesn't really have good background capability. I'm going to have to buy something like Brock has. Obviously, I'll get something different. But I don't know. I thought I'd just have something in the background today. It's obviously I did it on purpose, but made it look like a Freudian slip. That was the joke. So, you can't hear it. That's actually quite good. So I need to know what you can hear and what you can't. I assume you can hear that. Little shit. It's like a shit cover version of Blade Runner. I'll put it this side then. I don't know what this mic can pick up and what can't. I haven't had a chance to really test it. I think it picks up more than you think. But in other ways, you need to be... I've got it on my keyboard, which isn't ideal. There we go. What's everyone up to today? Brock, I imagine you're on a few beers, getting some food in. There we go. So I've been talking about it and bobbing around the whole time. You've heard nothing. I've got it next to the mic now, so that might help. I didn't know what would be too much. I can't get any feedback. What are we up to today, guys? Kelly's working. Dean's doing what? Taking some edibles, starting drinking at 11 a.m. What's going on? I'm so fucking hungry, but these focaccia things, man, they were gross. They were just too much pesto. It just didn't, for me, it's just like, ugh. I want a nice slice of pizza. but I've got very little in the house. I've lost my space blanket. I've got my brick wall blanket around somewhere. Oh, I'm sat on it. But my space blanket I've lost. I've got my space shirt though. And I find after 3 months of being in a tropical country, I didn't buy shades, and then I brought these in the UK just as the fucking summer stops. That's basically what I do. Oh, I love this one. I missed a lot of those sessions, Brett. When you first did it, I thought that looks cool. And after the first, I was like, that's great. And it just, the detail in it, the way, I mean, many sessions, right? I saw maybe 3 of them. But yeah, awesome stuff. I'm thinking of teaching myself to draw, like not for any reason, but just because I've never been able to. I think I'm just going to practice and try and draw like one face or something, or one bird. My ex used to draw people very well as well, and I know it's all just fucking basic shapes and ovals and fucking triangles and shit, and then you get the, you know, plus thousands of hours of practice. But I might teach myself to draw something. If I can draw like a phone or I don't know, a beer bottle that looks all right. By the way, the beers from last Saturday, the empties are still here. I just haven't. I'll do it today. I'm disgusting. I'll do it today. I'm not normally like this, but it has happened this week, and I'm sorry. I'm going to clean myself up and get out. Clean this fucking room. Yeah. Let me go down a little rabbit hole and on my own, and I'm sure I'll chat to you about it and just say, look, I've drawn a face, man, and then you go, shit, this is why. Look at this. Yeah, it'd be cool. Not that I'm going to do anything with it, but it's just I'd like to be able to draw something. I draw these 2 little cartoon characters when I was a kid, but they were shite, and it's all I could draw. So I just draw that one thing over and over again. It's like a cartoon hedgehog and I co-wrote a comic called Fat Man, which I'm sure was done elsewhere, but we were at school. My friend, who was a really good artist, did the drawing, and I wrote the words, the script, man. I don't remember what happened with it. I think we made 2 or 3 little editions of it at school, all hand done. That was fun. That was, you know, a long time ago, the 1950s. Boozing might go out later. Boozing soon. Yeah, I quite enjoyed having a few. Like I said, I was a lightweight. I had 3. I had 2 pints of Stella in these pint cans, and I felt real buzzed up over like 2 hours. And I had a 3rd one, and I was like, that's it. I don't want to, because I knew after that I'd get fucked up. And for some reason, I just kind of, that's when I went to sleep, really. But it just hit me hard yesterday for whatever reason. I had 3 fucking beers, man. So we'll see how that goes. This Sunday, next Sunday, I'm going to see Stanhope in London, in Hammersmith. It's a nice venue. It's called the Event in Apollo now, because everything has to be sponsored. Before that, it was O2. Now it used to be just called Hammersmith Apollo, but obviously they hook up with all the companies and stuff. But I bought these tickets in January 2020. And for whatever reason, whether I had an issue with my phone, I got printed tickets, and I had to email brown paper tickets this week. And to be fair, they got back to me quite quickly, and I said, no, just take that original print out, and it's all cool. So I hope so. I'll go in with 2 friends, but we're sitting in different places. So we'll meet up for a couple of beers before. That's what made me think about it. I'll actually be going out to have a few beers next Sunday. Then we'll go watch the show. It's like an hour. It's like an hour for me to get into London, then probably another hour almost to get to Hammersmith, because it's getting through it, getting down by the river. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm fed up of asking people because they can never make it or they always pull out. So I got 1 ticket to go and see Louis C.K. at Wembley Arena. It's not the stadium; it's like an indoor venue, but it's a pretty good venue. I've only seen music in there, so yeah, might be a once in a lifetime chance to see Louis. Probably not though. I'll probably, especially if I'm going to the States more often, I'll probably see him, especially when he's popping up in places. So it'll be good to see. I don't think I've got anything else on that I'm going to see. I don't think so. That'll be it, because I've got to wind my neck in a bit. I've got to tighten the belt and wind the neck in for the US trip, which is mid-October. And I'll be, some days living like a student and just eating fuck all and doing fuck all. Not doing fuck all, but just, not spending too much. Then other days where I'll be a bit more extravagant. We'll see what happens. But yeah, there'll almost certainly be a couple of nights that I don't remember as well. So that's the plan. Many years ago, I wouldn't have remembered any night. It would have been 14 nights of just blackout drunk. But I can't do it anymore. It's not good for me in any way. So I might get like one here, one in this city, one in that town. And we'll see. Well, it's hard for me to get there now, though, especially if it's the second day. If it's the second day drinking, I'll crash. I'll just hit the wall at some point. But yeah, a lot of it, some of it, I think it's just going to be Austin, where I might have this other comic with me for a bit, but I need to figure that out today. I'm going to get onto her today, actually, because you get a lot of, we'll talk about, maybe. So I'll try and get on that today. Straight after this, actually. So that'll be good. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun being able to actually talk about stuff that we're doing. I kind of mentioned it briefly in like a stream or something, but yeah, we're stepping it up a little bit in terms of stand-up and be working with someone. And next year should be quite full of like proper gigs, and pushing myself to do longer time, 20 minutes, 25, 30. It might go horribly, might go okay. We'll see, but you got to do it. I think it's time, because we could all die, right? We could die tomorrow. There are many ways up the mountain. There are many ways to end There are many ways to end up in a hotel room and slip and fall and bang your head and die, and that's going to be the end of it. But is it a nice hotel or a shit motel? That's the difference. I'll probably wrap this up on the hour. Go another 10 minutes. Has anything been happening? What have I been watching? Rings of Power. Well, first of all, House of the Dragon, I think, comes out here on a Monday, I think. So I've seen 3 episodes. Is it 3? Yeah. That's great. The first 3 episodes are phenomenal. I'm not going to spoil it, but the Crab King is what a character the Crab King is. Is it the Crab King? Yeah, he's cool. And Rings of Power, but no, sorry, House of the Dragon. It's shot pretty well. It's when you get these spin-offs like Better Call Saul, you're always concerned, right? But it's pretty fucking good. It's hit it at like a good stride of Game of Thrones, that kind of level. Rings of Power, the first episode was quite meandering, but the second episode was pretty good. You got some darkness creeping around, and they go to Khazad Dûm and stuff. Not really spoiling anything again, but it's set, is it 3,000-5,000 years before Lord of the Rings? That's pretty cool as well. Some of the characters are a bit wimpy, like some of the elves and stuff, but it's all right. And Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney from Sunny brought a really low-level football club in the UK a few years ago called Wrexham. It's in Wales. And they basically saved it, and they brought the stadium, and they're trying to get them promoted. They're giving them money, getting them good players and a manager. They're still struggling, but there's a good documentary about that on Disney called Wrexham Football Club, or Wrexham FC. It's kind of nice. It's funny. You see it, you're learning about the town and the football club, and it might give you guys an indication of like what football can mean to a community over here. Soccer, but it's a cool documentary as well. So that's called Wrexham on Disney. What's the Ghislaine documentary? Obviously, for me, it's on Sky or Now TV. I want to Last Night in Soho and X. I want to see. One of those was on the Soho one was on Brock's recommendation, and I found X. I've got Old Henry, which I think is a Western. So I've got a bunch of movie recs as well. Way more than that. Yellowstone, I think Brett Erickson was talking about that quite a bit. So I'll get on that. And yeah, just trying. There's so much to fucking watch all the time. There's new shit coming out. There's a new Star Wars TV show in 2 weeks. I'm sure you guys, or Brett might know more about that as well. I've kind of not really paying attention to it. I'll get the news a few weeks out and then watch it. But they're always good and enjoyable, and they're good production. My favorite is probably still The Mandalorian, but I liked Obi-Wan. The Boba Fett stuff, I thought it was good, but I thought the last episode there were too many weird little logic issues in it. It's like, wow, what are you doing that for? Like in the final battle thing. But it's a cool show, and I think it's in a good direction, and it's the way to go with Star Wars. I think do a movie every few years, whack out a bunch of TV shows. The good ones will get sequels. The ones that they don't want to do sequels to, or that didn't quite get there, they can stay as their own thing. And I think it'll keep enough people happy. I don't think I'm sure they're spending money on it, but I don't think they're spending the kind of money that like Rings of Power costs. And that's been in the works for years as well. And I think it looks like it because the technology is better and it's cheaper to do these effects, even if they are expensive. And it's got the same look as the movies, which I think was important, even though it's kind of a different take on it. I think it's good to have the look of the movies, certainly like the architecture and all that kind of thing. Yeah, they're doing a good job. Andor, there we go. No, it's just I can't mentally stay plugged into anything, and with Star Wars as well, I go through phases with dealing with it and not dealing with it. Like I still haven't watched all of Clone Wars. In fact, I only started it at the beginning of the pandemic. But it's good. My brother-in-law was really into it. He brought all the toys years ago, all the figures, I should say. Grown men probably don't like them being called toys. Yeah, it's all great to me. It's just time to dig into it, and I was never historically reading the comics and into every little detail. I read the Thrawn novels, the Admiral Thrawn trilogy, which was it wasn't recognized, was it? But it was, Lucas gave it a bit of a nod, saying it's kind of a cool thing. We kind of like it. So I remember reading those, and I'd like to read them again. I don't remember the names of the individual books, but I just called it like the Thrawn trilogy because Admiral Thrawn was the bad guy, and it had Luke and Leia. I think they're kids. I don't fucking know. I read it when I was like 12. We need to do another movie thing. So I've realised on Twitch I can play Prime stuff. I've got OBS now, but I need to practice a bit with it. But I can play the movie, but only people with Prime subscriptions and in that region, if that has like Reservoir Dogs, for example, can watch it. But I guess it's a bit more inclusive than the Predator one because at least some people can watch it with us, and some will have to just get their own copy. Yeah, the Discord thing is obviously a hangout, but I want to put it out as well. I think it's fun. The Predator thing worked okay, actually. If people liked it, people did like it. We liked it. So just watching it and having fun and shooting the shit. We should try and hook one of those up as well at some point. But yeah, Reservoir Dogs is a great movie. Thrawn. Yeah. I mean, I remember. I mean, I might have been 12. I might have been 50. I don't know, but it was a long time ago. But I remember the first book was blues. I had the paperback version, and it was just exciting because some fairly, if Lucas is kind of not really giving it the full okay, but it was kind of it's a pretty cool trilogy, and it was a great story. I know people were kind of expecting him to turn up in bits of like Rise of Skywalker and whatnot, but I think he's a great character. So if they, I don't know, he's a good character, I think, to have. But how do you do it? When do you do it? You'll have to have it in a different timeline, maybe, which would upset the super nerds. But yeah, no, it was great. It's not cheating. Sometimes I hang out for like 7 hours last night, and I couldn't sleep when I left. I watched something for half an hour. Sometimes, I'll have Brock on another tab while I'm doing other shit, and I can hear it, and I'll go back on catch up with the drawing. Sometimes you have to leave and go and do shit. I know Brett knows that. Everyone, you don't have to. It's not cheating. You don't have to sit there watching it all the time. But I was having fun last night. Those 6.5, 7 hours, just slowly drinking a beer, having fun. And the chat was cool last night, as it always is. There was no dicks for that first half. I don't know if any appeared. I arranged a date with Wee Bald Man. I assumed he was in Glasgow, but he's in Manchester. Did any dicks turn up, Brett, or anyone else that was in there? Any Penoids or, Vince, German Vince? And when I clicked his link, by the way, on last week's one, and he was streaming, his stream was like... He had his drawings out and then was just streaming himself smiling whilst trolling Brett's fucking chat. Bellend. Yeah, I mean, to be an engaged audience member for 12 hours straight is tough. It's tough because you're still reading and interacting and watching. You're still kind of doing stuff, and it's but no, they're good. And the problem is the time difference as well, because by the time it gets to like 1 a.m. here, I'm kind of crashing. So I'll have some that are later than that. But it'll be easy to catch up with them when I'm in the States, because I'll be on similar time zones again. So there'll probably be a couple of weird nights where I get back. Oh no, there'll be lunchtime, won't it? 3 p.m. A couple of pre-drink sessions, maybe. So definitely looking forward to that. I need more space in my life. I haven't got a lot of space here where I am right now. And I was used to having a lot of space a lot of the times in Brazil. So, yeah. I'm kind of cramped and comfortable, old chip. Cheerio, old chaps. Cheerio means bye, is it? Or you can use it for hello. Chrissy, right? Everyone was cool. That's great. And a surprise, though. But also, there's probably a part of you that wanted a couple of dicks in so you can light them up. Well, Brett, it's just the internet, and Twitch is, because it's such an interactive chat and it's all funky with a little... It's more personal than I think YouTube as a thing. And the people that literally don't do anything else but spend 20 hours a day in people's chats. I mean, there are people, we know that. There are people that come and go, I was banned from five people's streams today. It's like, do you think they're the problem, or do you think there's a common denominator? I keep looking at the microphone. Do you think there's a common denominator and all that? It's fucking wild, man. I get saying the odd thing, or having a few drinks one night and getting a bit weird, but yeah, there are definitely some weird people. And that poor 100k a month Amouranth, is that how you say it? Tits Magoo. I'll call it Tits Magoo. That poor thing has a lot of stuff in her chat, but she takes it well. People were calling her the N-word last week, right? And she was just bringing it up on screen going, interesting. You just got to have a thick skin and be able to deal with it, and have good people in the chat that will take care. And it's a great idea putting mods in there. Because if you do get some peens, you can just go, listen, let's take care of this one. Oh yeah, for sure. Everyone's just got to be aware of them. It's Nashville. We'll talk. It's on a list now. It's on a list. If not this time, then next time, which won't be long. It wasn't on the list up until recently, but because I have got this, when I'm looking at this time period, I can't spend 2 weeks in New York because it's too fucking expensive, quite frankly. So I've got this little couple of days there. There will be a couple of days at the end. I've got for sure like 5 days in Austin. I think I need 5, and then if either the scene is quite good, and if I'm with my mate or there's something else going on, I could put a couple of days in the end of that. But there's still a gap. Even if I stick to that return flight, there's still a gap before I would want to go back to New York again, because I just want to have, like, if I go Friday Tuesday morning, New York. That covers me. I can see what goes on the weekend and Sunday, Monday, maybe Legion of Skanks live or something. And then if I go back the second time, I think it's at different days of the week, so I can just see what's happening across different days. But there is that gap anyway in between that I could do something else. And I could always extend just move the return flight and stay in the States a bit longer. I could do it. I just need to plan it a bit better. And I might be able to move around a bit more as well. So yeah, Nashville. I'm hearing good things. I know you've been there a long time, man, but it's I like, somewhere unexpected for me, I think. And yeah, I'm sure either this trip or the next one, but maybe this one, we'll have to find room for a bit of food and a couple of beers. And it'll be good to drink in person rather than across a fucking digital screen, because that's you. Yes, we have to part and we won't be going to bed together, but when you turn the laptop off, I'm just looking at my reflection, man. Yes, Kelly, that's why you're all weird. My mic is right in the way of this chat. It's probably not the best place to put it. I think on OBS I can move it around, so I need to start using that maybe. Was Hack having a bad time? I know he's trying to buy something for his dad early on, and someone was it a generic person was just chucking money on it, and then realised he felt bad. Hack's a good egg, and he's got to 1K on his channel as well. So congratulations, Hack Oddity, well deserved. I think he's he finally did a bit of a push on it, didn't he? I think he needed to. The latest videos are great, by the way. They're all good, but the latest ones are really good. That s'mores, the burgers betwixt two s'mores was pretty good. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I bet there's 20 potential ones right now, and then one or two are always gonna. It's wild, but she can probably afford permanent security, right? Yeah, I'll try and listen to the podcast you were talking about as well. It's just impressive, to be honest. Like the thing, I mean, it's just the whole place is kitted out with the ball pool, the 100 mics, and the squat rack, and I mean, wild stuff. I haven't got those kind of talents, unfortunately. Oh yeah, and Brock's heading towards 1,000 himself, right? 900, so you definitely got to mod that out. It's too much to keep up on your own, and more than anything else, it's not annoying. You don't want people in there posting shit that could get you banned. It's just because it's in the chat. I know you've got the auto. Is it Streamlabs that will hook up some auto stuff, but some stuff might get through, or you can type it a clever way. Zoop was doing it in mine for a little bit, but I had to have a word with him. It's like, listen, don't be putting stuff like that in there, because I just don't want YouTube scanning people's chats and finding that. That's why I don't really have the replays play as well. Yeah, but it's just have a bit of fun, you know. That's what the auction is. Just have a bit of fun. Wish I could have got involved a lot more, but I was asleep. Yeah, the meager goal of 50. But you know what? In January, I had 3. 3. I think it was 3. It might be 4. So yeah, it's not too bad. But yeah, that will actually, hopefully, quite soon. I'll get some. If I can get someone involved, that will help, and it'll very quickly. We should go beyond that, I think. And next year, between December and December, which will be the second full year I'm actually giving a shit, I'm gonna go for quite a bit. YouTube's just a bitch. Yeah, can you team up? Can you collab? I'm sure everyone wants to get around. Drawing of her. Yeah. But then it's kind of a real person in the Twitch community as well. I don't know whether that would feel good or be good. Or fuck it. And actually, Brett, I'm pretty sure she'll be flattered with that. And then all you need for her to tweet your fucking name, right? And then boom, you've got a few of those creepy followers. And that, by the way, her chat it's just, some people are okay, but some people are just saying wild stuff in there. And the mods are really good in there, though. Even though there's so much going past, they're catching a lot. There's a lot of stuff gets deleted, a lot of stuff gets taken out and snipped. The best one was, honestly, I saw it last week, and I was like, someone just called the N word over and over again. It's just funny to me. The way she reacted was just classy. She was just like, "Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to unblock you. I'm not going to unban you." And then they're like, "Please, I didn't mean it." Or they're trying to appeal the ban. Yeah, but if you're getting 9,000 creepers, but 100 of them have got money, your night's good. You're walking away with a few grand just from that night's work. Yeah, just standing up for like 16 hours, and then on the pole, come on, she's putting in a shift. So I've got no problem with people like that putting in a shift. She's obviously smart. She's got the whole thing kitted out. She's got it's literally opening the bank and letting simp money throw in. It's phenomenal. And if it was me, I'd be doing worse. I'd be doing a lot worse. It would nothing wouldn't get put up there on OnlyFans. It would just be everything. Just be gaping every day. I know I said gay. When I said gaping and did that as well, it made me feel a bit weird. You know? Oh, well, absolutely incredible business. Yeah, phenomenal. Playing society right now, playing the game, playing Twitch very well. Yeah, sleep Twitch is something that I've been hearing is popular. Obviously, more so with women sleeping. If it's me sleeping, just seeing my gut, playing myself, and then farting, and then maybe talking like pissing myself, But that's great as well. And just go to bed. Just go to bed and wake up, and you've made like a couple of thousands. Phenomenal. Also, a little bit unfair. Women have it easy. They just have to keep it. They just have to get murdered a couple of times a year, stalked. Apart from that, easy. Well, I was going to wrap this up at 1, but I think I actually run out of fluid. That's the main thing. I've not even got a warm beer. I'll tell you what, I'll hang out for a little bit more and I'll pop down and I'll get a drink. You wait there, listen to this. And look at this. Give me 30 seconds, guys. All right. Doesn't really work, does it, when I do it? Doesn't really work. One, and then I'm going. We all need one of those, right? I've tried the stock market, it's not working. And it is funny, like raiding in with like 20 people, and it's just there's 9,000 people in there, so you're not gonna fucking notice. Yeah, phenomenal. She did this morning. She was doing the ASMR thing, but with like delay effect, and it was like. I just felt like I was on mushrooms. I put my headphones in. I was peeing, just listening to it, and it felt like I was on mushrooms. But I had to switch it off. It's creeping myself out. Just one. So I'm not going for a run today then. That's not happening. But no, after this I'm going to go and have a shower, have a bite, and then visit some family. Go and hang out for a bit. I was supposed to watch football today with my nephew, but they've called off all sporting events. I think like the cricket is happening, but almost all sporting events are closed for the weekend. All the football's off. Probably next weekend as well. Because actually the major reason is policing. Because you have to have a lot of police at the sports, and obviously they're all coming into London because we've got all this shit. The Ascension was today. Next Friday, I think Sleepy Joe, Biden, and the other world leaders are coming next Friday, so there'll be a lot of security. And then the following Monday's a funeral in a couple of weeks. So there's gonna be lots of times where like police from everywhere just drafted into London as well. It's just gonna be a lot going on. My try and think. I think second cousin maybe, one of my cousins is just literally, she's young, she's just qualified as a cop, and she's at Windsor Castle today, and they're very proud of that. You know, she's guarding the castle, except she's not, because if I had a crossbow I could get her with a crossbow, but she's my family, so I wouldn't. And also, you know, so a lot of my family are into it all. I'm trying not to be too disrespectful. I said on Facebook, like, oh, the sad thing is she's got a whole life ahead of her. And my mother told me off about that one. So if she saw what I was putting on Instagram and Twitter, I think I'd be cut off. I'd be cut off the, you know, I wouldn't be able to get my nails done on their credit anymore. Obviously, that's not a real thing. Oh, you're still on about Amouranth. Right, if that's how you say it. Just it's not. Yeah, it's the same strategy as I think a lot of successful female streamers do, but it just at a height. It's at a black belt level. From what I can see, it's just a black belt level where you just have all this shit. Oh, when we get this many subs, I'll wave the bunny and like jiggle about. Yeah, it's just to keep everyone's attention. And you know, I know exactly what these people are. Oh, she slipped. Was it this morning? She did a Freudian slip, right? And she was like, oh, she called everyone in the chat like social misfits, and then she stopped and went, oh no, because she's like 14 hours in. She goes, oh no, you're the guys that know how to talk to women. You know, you don't think we have cooties. And obviously the Sims like, oh, I'm gonna take my money. But the first thing she said was social misfits. I forgot. But they still kept coming. They still kept subbing. Good stuff. But I don't know why I went but I quite like this bottle opener. It's a beer. Berlin 2019. There we go. They're the kind of trinkets I've just got lying around. Yeah. So think about that. The next time you say, "Why are you day drinking?" I've got trinkets. Any of you guys been watching House of Dragon or Rings of Power, and do you like it or not? So this is the first photo that freaked me out, and there's another one. And I'll tell you what, they're lovely pictures. You and Naveen, Stanhope and Andrews and everything. I think there's another one. I don't know. Give me a second. Yeah. Oh, this is the first start. Okay, whatever. The one where you're there with Toharu. Because so used to seeing you sat in your chair. Brett, when I see you out and about, like at a place, I'm like, it doesn't look. He's standing up. It looks weird. It's like you're Professor X or something. I've seen you walking around the supermarket. I'm like, what? That's weird. Anyway. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave that on your driveway. Let's leave that up a while. It's just so my horrifically tired, fucked up face isn't on screen. And I thought, well, Brock's got some nice art to look at. Oh yeah, it's great. The 3 episodes. The ending for the 3rd episode was great. The childbirth stuff was great. The character of the Crab King, what he's doing, just torturing people and letting crabs eat them over years as well, wasn't it? It was over like 3 years they were letting him get away with it. But yeah, I thought he would be like a bigger bad, but I guess that maybe there's someone who sent him behind that. I've not even read. I don't want to know. I don't want any surprises, any spoilers. Just want to be surprised. So yeah, just accept each episode and get into it. I think as good as this has started, you could see this being easily like a 5-season show. You can kind of tell the quality, right? But we'll see how it goes. And because it's so long ago, you could skip generations. I think they can, right? Or you could there's so much story there in that timeline. I think that you could mess around over the seasons. It didn't all have to be like the same people, or it could be when they're older, age out the actors a bit. Outdoors are scary. Yeah. Again, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. Everyone go check it out. But the battle scene in the 3rd episode, just well done. I love the Crab King when he's kind of retarded, right, as well. And he's kind of like just doing this with his head, and it's getting the troops to move across the battlefield. You know, the archers to fire and stuff. He just, yeah, good stuff. And it actually made is it Damon a little bit likable, which always happens in those shows, right? You get a piece of shit and you go, he's also kind of cool, as well as being a dick. And yeah, if you like Lord of the Rings and Tolkien shit, Rings of Power is pretty good. The 1st episode is quite meandering, but I think they're trying to world build in it, and they just try and do a bit much. And the 2nd episode is a bit of darkness creeping in, some mystery. I think some red herrings are in there with the stranger, not that kind of stranger. It looks beautiful. The scenery is great. Music very, very similar to the movies. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the 3rd episode of that one and seeing where it goes. This Amazon has spent a lot of money. They spent a lot of fucking money on that show. I don't know what the budget was. Actually, I can maybe bring something up. First of all, the budget was $1 billion, $1 billion for a season. That's a lot of money. But I guess the big outlay is going to be on the first one, right? Because they've got to build the world. Although they filmed it in New Zealand, the same as the movies, but they're relocating to the UK. They're actually filming now in the UK, I think. I'll find out where. It's probably around here. It's probably not too far because I'm in an area called Buckinghamshire. Quite nearby, there's Elstree Studios where it's about 10 miles where Star Wars was filmed. We've got Pinewood Studios where all the Bond movies are filmed. The Keaton Batmans, that's another 8 miles another way. I think there's another studio as well, Leesden. So we're sort of in between three of them. So quite often you'll get like a local paper that has a picture of like the Millennium Falcon was just in a field not far from here, but it wasn't around then. I think some of my family went to see it. That was for the Solo movie. The Solo movie. But yeah, it was just in a farmer's field, like the whole thing, just like sat there. So it's quite cool. There's still practical stuff like that. And so yeah, I would imagine, given the countryside around here and given the amount of film studios, we're just on the outskirts of London, that Rings of Power is probably filming, especially like the countryside stuff and the woods. It's probably in this area. Not too far anyway. So yeah, this is the look of the show. Got Harfoot, so a kind of hobbit-like creatures, but not. And of course, people are being racist because it's black people. Dwarf. It's kind of got its own look. This is a young Galadriel, Kate Blanchett's character in the movies. Kind of got its own look, but it definitely leans into the movies because people thought, well, will they do a completely original thing? But yeah, very similar, I think. Oh yeah, I haven't seen that episode, and I don't want to spoil that if that article had any spoilers. But it's pretty cool. OGM. Napo, I was only supposed to do 5 minutes and I just stayed on, and then these lovely people dropped in, so why not? Obviously, I'm not talking about the Queen. Quick recap, she's in Scotland. She'll come down by train Wednesday. Sleepy Joe Biden's coming next Friday, and the rest buried next Monday. This will go on for fucking months. No sport on, so I'm fucking, cracked open a beer. But Monday to Friday, Napo. I don't know if you're doing coffee this week, but I've set this at the moment for 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Let me know what you're doing. And hey, Napo, if you're not doing one, you're welcome to jump on anytime during the week or something. I'm probably good. Yeah, maybe I'll go a little bit longer here today, but yeah, tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday. If you're bored, come and jump on one. Oh, okay. Yeah. That sounds like you're a valley girl. It's like, I'm so uncertain. I'm so uncertain. Chill out. Take your time. Don't give in the public pressure, I say. Do what you want. Business week. I hope that's a joke, sir. If it is, sir, can you not, don't associate me with anything? Dean's happy you're here, Mind Dog. I think he's missing you. Now, that's just one time. He found 7 bodies one time. There are other body finding. And one of them, he had his hand on a girl's head. And the other one of her hands was on a skull. So yeah, that's Rings of Power. Wrexham. Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds buying Wrexham Football Club is a pretty cool documentary. When you don't want past searches to come up. I did look at House of Dragon map. Just as dark, just as horrendous, just as vile. And yeah, of course, you've got the same brigade of people. Hang on, you got the same brigade of people out there that are complaining because a feminist show, But I have to say, in overall quality, at the moment, House of the Dragon is they're both great shows, but House of the Dragon for me is just pushing a bit out there. Just because I think it's been better with characters and just sort of tempo, really, and obviously is great. But Rings of Power is pretty cool. It's a high bar. But it's violence, forced childbirth. What can you not love? What can you not love? Not a murder or murders. Yeah, tell us why you might be going to prison, Napo. You found out you've got there are 25 bald-headed, fake Italian, rim-glass, mustachioed, mole-having kids running around Connecticut, right? Connecticut. Yeah, how fucking English is that? There's just a town of bald men or bald kids running around like little mini-me's. And you're like, fuck, I've missed 30 years of child payments. That's what I hope it is. That's what I hope it is, Mind Dog. Yeah, we won't do that. Oh, this is nice. Let's put this up. So Mind Dog, this is I'll read your comment in a second. This is Brock did this hammered well into the auction last night, and I saw the bones of it, and it's fucking awesome. Got from London. She lived in the States for 30 years. With her when she got citizenship. Oh, she's from London. Okay, so she's a Brit that's moved out. Yeah. How old is she, man? She's been in there 30. She's got to be your age. You got to give a lot of the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s a bit of wriggle room. It's fucking annoying, dude. I've got it in my very close family. Yeah. But weirdly, I'm being a bit not balanced because I'm obviously being a bit mean as well. But I think in the like my mum was born in the 50s, right? Around about the time she was coronated. I think it's just, and back then it was default to be deferential. It's just the way it was. Everyone had to be, you're at school singing the national anthem. TV would stop at 11 p.m. and you have to stand up and salute the TV, all this shit. So it's just kind of hardwired in there. And I've never really been a fan, I have to say. But in a bit of balance, for me, it's like she's always been there. It's like not the same, but it's like if you had like, I don't know, Roosevelt in power for 70 years, or was like not in power, but kind of like just a bit of a sideshow, just hanging out. It's always been there, and it's just things that you're kind of visually indoctrinated to, like my passport, without showing any details. It's all about like Her Majesty. You mail a letter, and it's like they're these really old mailboxes, like inscribed with like HRH, E2, stamps have a face on. I haven't got any English money here. Yeah, I've only got Brazilian money because I don't have cash anymore, but money's got a face. Do you know what I mean? The face, it's just the symbolism is everywhere, even if you don't notice it, for 70 years. So now it's all going to change. It is a bit of a different thing. And she's always been there, I guess, through like good politicians, bad politicians, good societal places, bad. So it is a symbol of stability. That's what I'm trying to rationalize it. I'm not a fan. And I made plenty of jokes, my Instagram and Twitter. We tried to go at her a bit, but it's the establishment, really. It's not the person for me. But these people feel attached, especially people like my mum is probably like not close to her age. She's younger, but when she was a little girl, she saw her coronated and she was a young queen and all this. So they gave up her personality for 70 years and stoic and all that. So I can get it, especially if they're old. If you're 21 and you're howling at the palace gates, I want to beat you around the head with a fucking shoe. I want to beat you around the head with a shoe. But part of me wants to knock. I'm sure my mother will go there and lay flowers on Sunday. I bet she'll go up, or if she can't go to the funeral because she's on vacation. But no, I get it. I've never been a fan. But as I'm trying to balance and trying to rationalize it a little bit in my mind. It's weird. It's weird to me. It's weird. It's weirder though when like Americans are more upset than we are. Yeah, so the Commonwealth thing's weird. And we've got 20. I think we got 20, but the main ones are Canada and Australia, really, right? New Zealand. I think some of them will definitely form republics. I think so. They'll still be kind of connected, but there might be bids to put in republic. And I think that Charlie Boy will be more accepting it. There'll be more of like, yeah, we can have a conversation. Canada and Australia, though, I'm not sure because it. And what you've got to remember is that Canada and Australia are also in our intelligence network, Five Eyes, which was from the 50s. So it's Canada, US, UK, New Zealand, Australia, Five Eyes. Right? It's like it's a collaborative intelligence network, and there's talks of bringing India into it to have like up to 8 eyes, I think. But Canada and Australia are kind of in everything we do, even if it might not be as obvious all the time. Like in the Middle East, the oil wars, it was always US and sometimes a bit of UK. People didn't really think of Canada and Australia, but they were fucking there as well. And certainly from an intelligence point of view, we all work together pretty closely. So there are stronger connections with Canada and Australia, which is weird, So I'm not sure, but good if you want it, guys. Good luck. Go and be a republic for a bit and then separate. Yeah, just this thing will come to an end, and it's going to come to an end in the next 50 years. You'll have this one for 10, 20 years. You'll have the son he'll be like to be fair, he'll be 60 odd when Prince William will be 60 odd when he takes the throne, probably. So you might only have 30 years of it, 40 years of it, but it's all going to get smaller. The administration is going to get smaller and smaller. And I think by then they'll just have I'll be dead, but they'll probably just have apartments. They'll have a bit of public money. It won't be the same. And yeah, all of these Commonwealths, I think, will start to become much. And they are their own thing anyway. They just kind of got this weird historic connection. It's odd. The rumor is that William he will become king because he's 73. This guy, he could die tomorrow, right? The rumor is the next one will happen, but Charlie Boy he's a fan of reducing it and reducing the public spending and reducing the pomp, but he can't do it immediately. He can't be seen to be doing that. So over time, I think it'll shrink. When William comes on, it'll be this smaller thing, and he's quite popular, weirdly, even though he's the Prince of Pegging, because there was an article of him getting things shoved up his ass from, whatever. This is not nonsense. I think William will probably be the last one, but it will be very different. You'll never have what you've had now. It's a different thing. It will go away. I don't think it will be in my lifetime, but I think 40 years, 50 years, it will become what some of the European countries have, where you just got the kind of more high-level socialites more than all the pomp and the sabres and the stolen diamonds. Tomorrow I want to talk about the big stolen diamond on a head and where that came from. It's like, it's the big, I think it's the most expensive diamond in the world, and it's on a head, or on his head now. We stole it. Yeah, well, he's actually not a fan of it. It's gonna shrink, but I just got a feeling they'll get William in because he is very popular still, and I think they'll put him in. He's a weird guy.
Battery low.
Oh, weirdly, can I don't think I can do anything about this battery running out here. Yeah, I mean, genetically they're inbred, right? Even the Queen and Prince Philip that were married were second cousins or something. And you can see the inbreeding. The only one you can't see it on is Harry, because I don't think he's royal. I think he's the son of Diana and an army major called James Hewitt. Where the fuck can I book this in? I don't think I can. I don't think I can, man. That wasn't Caribbean. Don't start on me. That's fine. I'll just let it run out. I don't know. I think he's had a bit more of a life. So honestly, I'm going to turn that off. That's annoying. I hear that at 3 a.m. every night, and it's not my dildo. It is, in fact, a speaker. I'll just put it through my phone. But I don't think it will last to 96 or something. I think honestly he'll probably step down soon. He'd probably retire. It's pretty telling. The Queen retired to Windsor like months ago. I think she's been on a deathbed for some time. And when we had the changeover of prime ministership to meet the old one, meet the new one, I think they got her out of bed because there's a photo with her black hand, made her up. She did a 5-minute photo shoot, and that's kind of, she's committed a life, even though it's privileged and all that. I think she was dragged out of a deathbed and had a photo shoot with the 2 prime ministers and then back to die. And I think they fucking knew. The news here changed into funeral outfits 5 hours before they announced it. I'm involved with an organisation, and I got an email about 3:30, which was hours before, that was talking about a social media thing that's going to get launched, and it was to do with the death. So I think there was an embargoed announcement, and then the public found out. But yeah, no, I think what I mean is she worked to the very end, or she did her duty to the very end. I think Charlie, he will get 10 years, a bit, maybe 20, but probably 10, 15. And then he'll be getting too old and he'll just go, I'm stepping down. Because they can do it. You can abdicate. It happened to get the Queen in power. I think was her dad? No, the person who put her dad in for power, I think, abdicated. But you can just say, I quit. And I think he would when he's in his 80s. I think he'll just go and live, go and die somewhere in a castle. But it's all a bit weird. It's all weird. But, what can we do? I was kind of... And it is weird, yeah, when you don't know someone. Get out the phone speaker like a fucking gypsy. Diamond theft. So I can sit here and criticize it, right? But the fact is, I live in quite a safe country. It's quite secure. We've got a good military, a good police. It's a safe place. The infrastructure's here, logistically, things aren't perfect, but it's pretty good when you compare it to a lot of places. And that's built on the back of diamond theft, for example, or massacring Kenyans. Horrific things, and the US, whatever we do in our country, it's built the kind of security we have. It's fucking gross, indeed. I would take one of those diamonds off the crown and give it back to like India or South Africa. There should be some sort of gesture like that. It's fucking gross, and I'm going to talk a bit about that. And then we'll get into the noncing and the paedophilia. Abso-fucking-lutely. I'll be doing that throughout these 10 days as well. So I think I made the thumbnails look like, I'm just more, I'm into the Queen. Really, I'm not. So, but I'm trying to be human as well. I don't know. Yeah. The flip side to it, and it sounds like I'm being a royal, the flip side to it is that he was forced to not. He was in love with his wife now, and he was told, you can't be together. You've got to marry a young virginal type. That they were forced into that marriage, right? So it was, and they both cheated on each other, and it's both bad. She ended up being fucking killed, probably by, probably not accidentally. Yeah, I don't think he would have had anything to do with it if it wasn't here. I think it would have been from upstairs, the Prince Philip, the Queen Mother. If it was anything suspect, it would have been from them. I think there's a whole weird cabal of people that run the royals, and I don't know what they're called, but there are people who tell them what to do and what to say and where to be, which is odd because Charles, as much of a gimp as he seems, he's actually quite outspoken, and he's interfered with politics a few times or tried to, and it's not the done thing. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. But there is a cabal of people that try and tell them what to do, and maybe he'll try and reduce that. Maybe he'll just go, no, I know what I'm doing. You don't need to interfere. They've got all kinds of weird shit going on around them, staff and little intelligence services and police that are just for them. It's a very odd setup. Diamond necklace. So we have a significant homeless problem. It's significant. It's not, given the size of our country and the size of the cities, it's not LA. It's not 80,000 people in the city. In the town I'm in, no. There's a lot of money around here, and it's a small town, and then it's not allowed. Like, just shoved out to wherever. Yeah, the cities, every city. Cardiff was bad. London's bad. We had a similar thing with mental health as well, and that we let a lot of people go. And when you don't care for people that have been to war and stuff, a lot of men up on the streets, a lot of drugs. Yeah, we have it. Brazil is, if that's not a joke, I'll answer it seriously. It's the poverty in Brazil is heartbreaking. And yes, you have homeless people, and they're not just cowered in the doorway under a blanket. You walk around Copacabana, this beautiful tropical area. They're laid on the pavement, just across the pavement, just asleep in shorts and no shoes. But it's warm, so I guess they don't really have the freezing to death issue that we have here. That we have people freezing to death on the streets. Yeah, there's a lot of homeless in Brazil, and a lot of the poverty gap is horrendous. It's a very progressive country in a lot of ways, and a very modern country, more than you would think. But then you've got people living in tribes in the Amazon, which is real, and you've got the favelas, the shanty towns that are real, and those people work. You meet them because they sell water. They run the carnival and stuff. They make all the awesome shit for the carnival, but they live in absolute poverty, and that's where the crime comes from. But homelessness, yeah, it's horrendous in Brazil. I saw a guy. He had like elephantitis or something. Honestly, his legs looked like elephant legs. He was sat outside the supermarket and they were crusting and falling apart, and his calves were like this big on his leg, this wide. And I was just looking at him going, how did he even get there? Can he walk? Is he just dumped there and that's where he is? Yeah, Brazil's bad. But the dole doesn't really affect homeless. It's like a benefit system that people do abuse. It's good that we have it though, because when you're out of work, sometimes you need a bit of help, and I think it's a good thing to have. But no, we have homelessness. We have homeless shelters, but a lot of them want to be on the streets, or they prefer, because they can take drugs and they can live their own independent way. And there's a lot of people who are just mentally ill and they can't do anything but be on the streets. So you can bring someone into a shelter, they start buying drugs, they get kicked out, because so there needs to be some change on how those kind of places work as well. But that you get institutionalized, I think, to the streets as well. So I think there is a choice to go, I'd rather live here because I know what it is and I can control it and I can do what I want when I get the money. So homelessness is a complicated issue everywhere, I think. What's this? The rumours it was his father. I'm not sure what you mean. James Hewitt being Harry's father. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep. It's here. It's trying to think where the worst I've seen it. The most aggressive overall that I saw was LA. Homeless people being aggressive and threatening you and chasing you down the fucking road. And places like Skid Row, you read about boiling shit being poured over people's heads when they walk past. But I didn't go to Skid Row or anything like that. I just saw around Venice Beach mainly, and the roads connecting up from Venice, and a little bit of it down Hollywood, but I wasn't there much. Yeah, homeless people are pretty chill here on the whole. You get semi-homeless as well, kind of have somewhere to live, but they just spend all day begging money because they're going to buy meth or heroin or whatever. Yeah, it's I don't know what the size of it is, but Cardiff was a very, very small city, and we had a lot of homeless people. They must have come from somewhere, but over the last 2 or 3, 4 years, at winter time they got tents, so they're all down the high street in tents, and then that causes problems because they're in front of businesses and stuff. It's like people can't get in the store, so it is a legitimate problem. But also, it's better that they don't freeze to death. And London, London's the biggest city. We've already had homeless there. Manchester, you get it. Liverpool, the biggest cities, bit in Edinburgh. Yeah, I don't know how many I don't know what the number is. Google that. I don't know, but it's we have it. Yes, you do. You need dole, and you need without everyone thinking it's like communism, socialism. Socialism isn't bad. It does get abused, and it's not ideal here. It's getting better, I think, but you could get say you'd get your rent paid, and you'd get some money to live on, like X amount of pounds a week, even if it's £100 a week, right, to get food. sometimes if you in the past, if you would have got a part-time job to try and better yourself for 2 days a week, and you earn, let's say you're on minimum wage, so let's say you're earning like £100 for 2 days back in the day, instead of taking off the 100 off of the benefits and then keeping you the same, they would sometimes cut an entire benefit or cut 50%. So you earn 100 or 200 and they'll cut 500 off your benefits. So then you get punished for trying to better yourself, trying to get a job. So you don't. You remove the incentive. You think, well, I'll pretend to find work. I made use of it for 1 year. I signed on to benefits for 1 year when I went to college, not university. Here, college is a replacement to the end of high school. I basically went back to college for a year, full time, every day. Was that when I did this? Yeah, it was. And I signed on, and I got money every week, and it helped me eat. And I think we got some help with some taxes and bills and stuff. But I had to go every week and fill out a form and tell them I'd applied for this job and applied for that job. I fucking hadn't. I lied to them and I got the money. So I abused the system as well. I had to threaten a man in this establishment. They're awful. They're demoralising places. They'll shout at you. You know, you've got these fucking 20 grand a year pricks in suits shouting at you. You know, you need to get a job. What's wrong with you? I'm sure it's changed now. I could take away this money anytime you like, and yeah, I had a few set twos, but I did it for 1 year, and the reason I did it was to better myself. But they said if a job in a warehouse comes up of you stacking boxes, you've got to take it and you have to give up your college. So I had to sign something saying, yes, I agree. Obviously, I didn't agree. And if I would have got a job interview, my tactic would have been get the interview. Hi, how are you? Yeah. Tell me about yourself. Great. I'm going to steal everything I can in your company and I'm going to shit in the corridors. There's the interview. You do that kind of stuff, right? And then they go, we can't employ him. And then you can go and collect some more money. So I played that game for a year, and I did it so I could get back into education, and I just was steadfast about it. I hated it. Since then, I've been unemployed a couple of times, and I've starved rather than ask, and I probably should have taken advantage of it. But yeah, I'm glad we have it. It's demoralising for me because I like to keep busy and I like to feel valued for earning money and all the rest of it. I'm at a place now where I'm better. Well, I'm at a place where I'm very fine compared to that, actually, many years ago. But yeah, but there are people who get into that system and they live off it for years because it's the done thing. And if you're not incentivized to come off it, why would you? Although they are fixing that a bit better to try and cut down those sort of issues. But yeah, I'm glad we have it. Yeah, there's all levels of homeless, isn't there? You just haven't got an address. You haven't, you've got a car or you're on the streets and it's underfunding is all it is. It's underfunding. You might have one student that's the security for one shelter and they're stabbing each other with needles and shit. So why would you want to live there? First of all, people are nicking stuff. They're weird. It's a mental health thing and a healthcare thing. Yeah, I agree. No, I derailed it after 30 seconds. I stopped. I don't give a fuck. It's actually a fun hang. I thought it would just be me for 5 minutes. So. Running out of beer though. I could go and get another one, or I could end this, or I could not. I can't believe we've gone nearly 2 hours. I haven't even showered today. I'm in yesterday's clothes. I didn't sleep in them, but I put them back on today. I got 2 coffees. I tried to eat something and then just started this. Oh yeah, so we would call that formerly homeless. It's not a halfway house, but it's that kind of, you're helping the step away from it, right? Yeah, we have those here too, but it's good. You need it, and hopefully, Dean, you got plenty of time in front of you. You may find yourself in a position in down the line where you can afford to live somewhere. It doesn't have to be in New York City; it could be wherever. But yeah, New York's an expensive place. I'm going to find that out next month. I'm going to try and budget where I can and do what I can. But yeah, living in a place like that and living in a country that doesn't look after its people in the same way, it's got to be tough. But I think you guys are going to get there. I think you're going to get there. I think you're going to get to a place where healthcare is much better. It might take 20 years. But I think you will. It might not be what we have, but I think it can be significantly better. It has to be, right? You can only go one way. I remember during, was it Obamacare? My friend in Tucson, actually, that I went to Bisbee with, she was a single mom with 2 kids, and she had to pay like $800 a month or something like that for insurance. And it's just like, in case something goes wrong, and then insurance doesn't cover stuff anyway, like we've seen with cancer treatments. Why the fuck doesn't it cover it? Cancer treatment should be the main thing that it covers. And then if you break an arm, they should be like, oh, maybe you got to pay for this. That's the way around it should be. And then paying for an ambulance, it's insane. I could fall off here, break my wrist, call an ambulance, I'm in hospital within 2 hours, and I'm getting treated, and it's free. I don't have to pay anything. The only thing I might have to pay is for longer term treatment. We pay a prescription for medication, and it might be, I don't know what it is now, it might be £20 to get a per prescription. So if you get prescribed this for pain, that for pain, this or whatever, that would be a one cost thing. Not that I get medication a lot, but I think that's how it works. Free at the point of use. We pay for it through a national insurance tax. So out of your wages, I think above a certain income tax is above a certain threshold. I think NI is 20%. I should know, but it's a percentage out of your pay packet, and that's what funds the health system in theory. I'm sure it goes to other stuff as well. But it's a bureaucratic mess over here as well, but at least the facilities are there. Well, I think the have-nots get convinced that it's an evil thing, right? Any kind of socialism is the devil. I think that you've got to get a balance between capitalism and socialism, I think, and that's the answer. I mean, it always, given the way the world's run, it always leans towards capitalism. It just depends how much. At least here we have healthcare, we have the benefit system, we have other shit, tax relief. I'm sure you have that there too, but different things that will help lower income families. It's not perfect, and we've got a corrupt government who hasn't. I expect governments to be corrupt. That's what I expect. So it never upsets me, because I expect of the government that you will be corrupt and that you will commit crimes. That's what I expect. The people who get upset think that it should be a higher standard, but I just think, power, you get any power around human beings, and that's what happens. So that's why I'm fucking almost out of it. I'm like, yeah, you guys fill your boots and I'll survive. $100 years, maybe. I don't know. Exactly. Again, this is going to sound like from the most unusual person. He's actually quite an empathetic person, and he was one of the first public leaders, kind of a pseudo leader, that was talking about climate change in the 70s. And when I was a kid, he was talking about the environment, and he was kind of right. And it took the rest of the world 20 years to start to think about it. So I think he is probably empathetic about homeless. Solutions, I think, are for academics. Should probably come in and solve that, and they should be given value as well, and not just as like a token thing, or serious people from healthcare. Basically, good committees that can be given some power and a budget. I know in Texas they were doing private businesses, right? So you get private businesses to say, okay, we're going to buy this block of apartments. We'll basically let homeless people live in it. I guess you get some kind of grants from people and stuff from government. because the one thing about giving homeless people accommodation, they're gonna shit up the walls, right? And not all of them, but there's gonna be a percentage that it's gonna be blood and shit and piss and cum everywhere. So a lot of landlords don't want to give up their property because it's going to get trashed. Or you have a fund to say, if it gets trashed, we will pay you quickly, not through 6 months of bureaucracy, but within a week, we'll get that money to you and you can repair it. But it's multi-leveled, isn't it? That's one idea I think was floated there. But it's a mental health care, it's the logistic, it's accommodation, it's healthcare, education, then people that would help people get into employment. And not everyone can, but I'm sure a lot can. And there's some good work done here, but it's just on such a small scale. It can't. No, it's a drop in the ocean. Yeah, even a couple of hundred a month, Kelly, is wild to me. Yeah, I don't know enough, but I heard it helped some poor people, or if you had your own business. But it's all, it's so complicated out in the States, isn't it? To try and get past it, the fucking lobbyists and different agendas and the compromises. But I think you'll get there. Napo, you might be dead, but I think you'll get closer over the next 10, 20 years. I don't know what that means, but it has to be. There has to be, when this generation of senators and congressmen die and politicians, you would hope the generation coming up, whatever side they're on, would start to think, we fucking need to have something. And it'll always come with problems. There'll always be people to get left behind, but I think it's the right thing to do to have a better go. There we go. Bloody hell. Politics, Carl. Politics. Don't get into politics ever. What the fuck? I smashed that can as well. All right, babies. I'm going to wrap this up soon. I do want to continue, and it's been lovely, and it is lovely. But the light's fading. All I've done is drink beer now. I need to eat. I want to go and see my sister. Have a shower. Get some steps in outside. Organise a bit of US and stuff that will affect this podcast in the next month, hopefully. Napo, we need to talk about it as well, offline. But I'll be 5 weeks I'll be in the States. Finish this up in the next few minutes. Oh, sure. I got one of these at like 11:30, but yeah, around that. DM. I'll try and get some thoughts. I'll try and get my head together today, and I'm going to speak to my currently secretive potential comedy person that might come out for some of it. But yeah, I'll be in the States. Got some vague plans. But it'd be good to actually have a chat with words, because it's easy than just fucking typing back and forth, isn't it? Have a good day, Husky. If I missed you, have a good one. OGM, thanks for coming and hanging out. So, I'm glad we had a little chat about something different. I'm doing one of these every day. It's going to be mostly 11:30-ish a.m. Eastern, but I can change it. I might change it. Hopefully, I'll make every day. I hope. Between 5 minutes and an hour. Kelly, thank you very much. Dean, thank you. Mind Dog. Go support Brock at Husky Boyo everywhere. If you haven't already, give this a subscribe and a like and all that stuff. Couldn't be asked to put the bricks up today. Oh, look at the face. I need a shower. Oh, the puffiness. Weirdly, a shower makes me look a bit more human. There we go, losers. Cheers. I'll see you guys later. That's it. I need to increase the production on there again, and we'll see you guys later on. Take care. Take it cheesy.